Hi friends! Today we're going to take a really close look at some of my favorite things about fall. I'll show you a close-up image of something you've probably seen during the fall. As soon as you think you know what it is, shout out your answer. Are you ready? Let's go! What do you think this first image is? Time's up. What is it? If you said candy corn, you're right. Do you think candy corn counts as a vegetable? Here's the next one. What do you think this might be? Time's up. What is it? If you said hay bale, you're right. Hey, what do you say we do another one? I wonder what this could be. Time's up. What is it? If you said pumpkin, you're right. Wow, I'm really pumped you guys got that one. Now, what do you think this might be? Time's up. What is it? If you said scarecrow, you're right. I was a little scared you might miss that one. Study this next one carefully. Shout it out if you know it. Time's up. What is it? If you said fallen leaf, you're right. Great job. What a relief to get that right. What do you think we're looking at here? Time's up. What is it? If you said pumpkin pie, then I'd like whipped cream with mine, please. Oh, and you're correct. Great job! I wonder what this could be. Time's up. What is it? If you said corn stalks, you're right. This made me think of a joke. Oh, never mind. It's too corny. What do you think we're looking at here? Time's up. What is it? If you said spider web, you're correct. So, do you think a spider's home is called his website? All right, this is our last one. Can you figure out what this is? Time's up. What is it? If you said caramel apple, you're right. Great job. Way to stick with us to the end. Well, I don't know about you, but I sure had a lot of fun. Thanks for playing, friends.
Those. Oh, hey everyone. Hey, I want to welcome you to Ringo Kids Sweet Shop. And I hope you're as excited as I am to start a new month celebrating God together. And I'm topping off this jar of peanut M&Ms. You can see we got all kinds of goodies here. We got bubble gum, different kinds of chocolate. One of my favorites is chocolate covered almonds. And then we have these delectable, amazing cupcakes. And I'm eager to start a new month celebrating God together as we discover how He works in our lives. You see, each one of us is God's custom creation, right? You see, God made us. He gave each of us our very own personality, our likes and our dislikes, everything that makes us who we are. You see, God has a good plan for each and every one of us. And as we grow every day, we'll find out more and more about God's purposes for our lives. That's what individuality is all about. Man, that's a big word, isn't it? Individuality, say it with me, okay? Individuality, that's right. You see, individuality is discovering who you're meant to be so that you can make a difference. You know, it's kind of like these amazing cupcakes, right? Y'all like cupcakes? I know I do. And they have their own toppings, and each one has its own flavors. We have coconut and lemon, strawberry. One of my favorites is chocolate, right? Who doesn't like chocolate? Hey, let me ask you this. Which one of these do you think I should test? You see, we have people coming in and getting their favorite dessert and their favorite treat. So I want to make sure it's really good. So which one of these cupcakes do you think I should try? What? Say that again? I agree with you. Chocolate, right? Who doesn't like chocolate? Don't forget that God made you, and today we're going to start our lesson in the very first chapter of the very first book of the Bible called Genesis. And in Genesis, we read about how God created the world. It says, in the beginning, God took nothing and made everything. He made the animals, he made the trees and the other plants, and one of his greatest creations was you. He made you. So hang out with us today as we discover his creation and how you are super important. And while we do that, I am going to taste our cupcakes. Amazing.
Hey everybody, I'm Graham, and I've got to say I'm super excited about today because we are talking about one of my favorite things. Candy! Have you ever been to one of those candy stores that lets you put all of your favorite candies into one little bag? You can mix your jelly beans with gummy bears and top it all off with a handful of M&Ms. The M's stand for and it's all made only for you. Your one-of-a-kind candy bag. Everyone's different after all. Some of you may like hot candy. Ha 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 ha. Or maybe sour's your way to go. I need some water, please. Or maybe you don't like candy at all. Now that's a good radish. We're all different, and that's not a bad thing. That's what individuality is all about. Individuality is discovering who you were meant to be so you can make a difference. We're all created to be individuals. That's why we all like different kinds of candy. Hey, what if we were created out of candy? Like, what if my head could be made out of jelly beans? And maybe some peppermints for eyes. Yeah. Laffy Taffy nose. Twizzler mouth. Twizzler? Twizzler? And of course, some hair. Looks just like me. Okay, maybe we weren't created out of candy, but we were created. And in today's story, we'll learn about our amazing creator. Sounds fun, right? What? I was hungry. See you soon.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verses 26 through 28.
In the beginning, God took nothing and made everything. From darkness, God called out light.
God poured out waters and stretched the sky far overhead like an unpainted canvas. He shaped dry land and canyons and great mountain ranges, and then decked them out with trees and vines and plants of every kind. God spun the moon and sun and stars and planets out into space, and then He filled the oceans with fish and the sky with birds. God thought up an amazing variety of animals to crawl and hop and race over the earth.
All of this was incredible, unbelievable, the most artistic show of power ever. God made complex atoms and cells smaller than the eye can see, all the way up to vast spaces stretching across the universe farther than we can imagine. And yet, all of this was just a warm-up to God's most spectacular creation. People. People. It's true. We're made of the same atoms and cells and elements as rocks and plants and animals. But unlike anything else in God's creation, we are made in God's image. Then God said,
"Let us make human beings so that they are like us. Let them rule over the fish in the seas and the birds in the sky. Let them rule over the livestock and all the wild animals. And let them rule over all the creatures that move along the ground."
So God created human beings in His own likeness. He created them to be like Himself. He created them as male and female.
You are made in God's image.
Now, that does not mean God shares your eye color.
or your freckles, or even your quirky smile.
But it does mean that you were designed for God to shine through you.
You were made to show the world God's love, God's grace and mercy, God's joy, God's peace, God's kindness, God's wisdom. You and every person you'll ever meet are of infinite value because you're made in the image of God. And here's what's even more amazing. God didn't design us to turn into a bunch of little robots who look and act the same when we follow Him.
Instead, the more time you spend with God, asking Him to transform your thoughts and words and choices, the more you become uniquely you. As you follow Jesus and reflect God's light more clearly, you'll be able to do the things that God has designed for you and no one else. So, next time you look in the mirror, remember, you're looking at the image of God, and no one in this world can reflect Him just the way you do.
When God created the world, He saved the best for last. People. He made us to be like Him. He made us in His image. Maybe that means God looks like us. Or maybe it means God made us with different qualities that could only come from Him. Maybe God made you creative, like He's creative. Ooh, or maybe you're really smart because a smart God made you that way. You could be patient, or kind, confident, or peaceful. And you could top it off with a handful of joyfulness. God is all of those things, and He's given them to each of us in all kinds of different combinations. So here's the one thing to remember today. You were made in God's image. Only you were made the way you are. You're one of a kind. There. I'm done with my new candy self-portrait. What do you think? Not bad. I look delicious. I'll see you next time.
Hey everyone, it's amazing to think that as we discover the individuality that God has given us, we can use those abilities to show the world who God is. We can show the world God's kindness, God's faithfulness, His goodness, and His love. And the more time you spend with God, the more you'll find out how unique you really are and the special ways that God can show the world who He is through you. And as you follow Jesus and show His love to others, you'll be able to do the things that God has designed for you and nobody else. So the next time you look in the mirror, remember you're looking at the image of God, and there's no one else in this world who can reflect God just the way you do. And that's our bottom line. It's this: you were made in God's image. Let me repeat that, okay? You were made in God's image. I don't know about all of you, but when I think about how big and powerful and loving God is, it's a little mind-blowing, right? That I was made in His image, and I can show the world who He is in a way that nobody else can. Listen, if you ever feel like you aren't important or valuable or special, just remember that you're made in God's image. God made you who you are on purpose. And you have a part to play in God's great story that no one else can play. You see, God has a good plan and a purpose for your life. And that's reflected in our memory verse. And I love this. It's found in Psalm chapter 139, verse 14. Okay, let's say it together. It goes like this. How you made me is amazing and wonderful. I praise you for that. What you have done is wonderful. I know that very well. Isn't that amazing? You see, this is so important for us to remember. We can give thanks and praise to God every time we think about the way He made us. And remember, the more you spend time with God and grow in your relationship with Him, the more you'll learn about who God is and how He designed you to be. So join us next week as we continue our series, Custom Creation, and we continue to learn our individuality and how God wants to use us, okay? So I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Hey there! I'm MC Haggis, the world's greatest Scottish rapper, and this is my beatboxing partner, Seamus McFamous. Say hi to him, Seamus.
Aye.
This month we're learning about individuality. Discovering who you are meant to be so you can make a difference. And I just came back from the Haggis family reunion. It was huge, and it was so great to see everyone, but you know what I discovered?
Aye.
No, not that everyone needed a bath, although that might be possible. I discovered that everyone there was an accountant.
Aye.
It's true. Everyone else in the family is an accountant. They count things. They count money. We're an accountant clan, and I was the only one who has done something different. So I got to thinking maybe I shouldn't be the family oddball, the maverick, or the one with real talent, if you will.
Aye.
All right, I'll get to the point. I'm gonna try to be an accountant and give up being a rapper.
Aye.
Seamus, this is what I need to do in order to carry on the Haggis family tradition. As part of my transformation from this day forward, I will no longer be MC Haggis, but will be known by my birth name, Oleander Haggis. Oleander. No longer will my voice be my instrument that defines who I am. From now on, this will be the instrument of my legacy.
Aye.
This abacus, yes, this belonged to my grandfather, Alistair Haggis.
Aye.
I don't know, I'm not sure how you do it.
Aye.
Make them spin real high like a... Now stop it, Seamus! Change is always hard, but this is something I must do. Oh, I forgot something. My grandfather's clip-on tie. Thank you.
Hey!
Seamus, are you alright, my friend?
Hey!
I'm sorry. I know this is a shock, but I feel like it's what I should do as a part of my family.
Hey!
Wait, you think it's okay for me to be me? The me I want to be? I've already discovered how I was meant to be, and my rapping helps others and makes a difference?
Aye!
You're right! Seamus, I'm MC Haggis, and it's okay to be me. Let's rap about it. Kick it. Oh. I'm MC Haggis, it's okay to be me. I'm a rapper by trade, that's how God gifted me. My good friend Seamus just helped me see that's who I was meant to be so I can make a difference. And that's individuality. Word! Yeah.
Hey!
Mm-hmm, it's an abacus, yeah.
Hey!
All right. That was a family heirloom. I had that reevaluated on Antique Roadshow, and I was going to pay for my kids' college, but looks good there in the dirt. What are you doing?
Hey!
Oh, I got you.